What's going down, guys? It's your boy Trump's Man, and we are back with some 2K15 previews. And I know you Celtics and Pistons fans would love to see these cards back in the day when your teams were winning those championships. The Celtics Big Three with Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and KG. And then, of course, the Detroit Pistons back in the day, pretty much making the Eastern Conference Finals, it seemed, every year, winning the title in 03-04 with Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince, and Rip Hamilton. Who wouldn't want to see these guys in the game? And for me personally, I know we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We don't know what it takes to get a guy like Reggie Miller, maybe a guy like Charles Barkley in 2K. But at the end of the day, I feel like they really need to have throwback cards. I think that's the main thing, what we all want to see, the Vince Carters. But a lot of these guys, we don't really ask for a whole lot of legends from, the 70s, the 80s. We're asking from guys from, the mid to late 2000s. And that's why I don't get why they can't get those guys in 2K. Because could you imagine using Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace, that duo, one to stretch the floor, the other with that inside dominance? Who wouldn't want to use both of these guys? And what about a young, or not, I wouldn't say a young Chauncey Billups, but a younger Chauncey Billups, right in his 30s? That would be so much fun to use. And there would be so many more cards in the games, but who wouldn't want to use them? What about Mike Bibby, man, from his days in Sacramento? Look at Kevin Garnett going right at the throw. Ben Wallace, he is not scared. The Celtics have won championships too, Ben. And KG, he's one of the best power forwards of all time. He's definitely not going to be scared to throw it down. And Abdul-Jabbar, man, he's not going to be scared of Ben Wallace, the greatest Lakers scorer of all time. He ain't going to be scared going inside on you. And what about a young Bernard King, a primetime Bernard King? Would be so much fun to use. And then Allen Houston we have at the shooting guard on the Pistons. One of the most underrated shooters of all time. Because for me personally, I know a lot of people, they want to get the superstars of the league back in the game. But for me, I would love to see cards not necessarily superstars like an Allen Houston, but just guys that, even for a season, they had a really good season, like a Mike Bibby. He had 3-4 really good years in Sacramento, and then he kind of started to slip off a little bit, started to bounce around. And especially, man, Allen Houston, he was a great all-around scorer his whole career, averaged right around 18-20 points his whole career. And that's why I'd love to see these guys in the game, guys that not necessarily were superstars like Abdul-Jabbar, a prime-time Paul Pierce, but just guys that were consistent through their whole career, guys that had one really good year. Because for me, the more cards in the game, the better the game is going to be. But trying to play some defense, Bernard King missing the three, and that is not his game, so we'll live with that. But Paul Pierce finding Ray knocking down that mid-range. It could, would be the best thing about Ray Allen and Paul Pierce on the team together, man. Both these guys in 2007, 2008 were still in their prime, man. I think they were both right around 30 years old. These guys would be so much fun to use, because especially Paul Pierce, man, who wouldn't want to use the truth in his prime? And Kevin Garnett. I mean, all these guys from the Celtics team, the Celtics Big Three, or the Pistons Big Three, let's be real, all of us would kill to have some of these cards. And I know a lot of you guys would love to get that Ben Wallace and that Rasheed Wallace, and I would too. But let me know down below in the comments, guys, what Big Three would you rather have? The Celtics Big Three or the Big Three on the Pistons? Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace, or Rasheed Wallace? Because, I mean, you can argue either way. But let me know down below in the comments. And what other legends, man, would you want to be in the game that I haven't yet previewed? And I'll preview them in the next time. But look at Rasheed, the ball do not lie. And he ain't going to let it down as he's on fire, man. 5 for 6 this game already. And he had 3 from downtown. But Allen Houston getting the steal. Terrible play by Paul Pierce. Ray Allen almost able to chase him down as the Pistons defense, we all know, one of the best defenses of all time. They go, oh my God, but Kevin Garnett has something to say about defense. We're pushing to try to get an easy bucket. But right here, the Pistons ended up fouling us, which ended up being the game. We were knocking down those free throws. But let me know down below in the comments, what Big Three would you rather have? The Pistons Big Three or the Celtics Big Three, man? Hit that like button if you're hyped for 2K15. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll catch you guys next time.